I arrived to this place with skepticism. It's known for its multisensory experience, high-concept dishes, and one of the most expensive restaurants on earth. Just a big song and dance to take people's money, or is there really something behind it? Join us as we travel to Denmark and pull back the curtain at Alchemist. We are here in Refshaleøen, a part of Copenhagen that was once a famous shipyard. Around here somewhere is the restaurant foodies rave about. I know Copenhagen is one of the world's safest cities, but this looks like a good place to get robbed. We find the enormous building that looks like a factory. Now we are looking for massive bronze doors that an elephant could fit through. I think that's them. By pure chance, we meet two guys who work at Alchemist. Lars composes the music and sound effects, and John is creative director. Wait, are we going to a restaurant or a theater? There are no handles on the door. Thankfully, it opens on its own. We are welcomed into the lobby and given Camilla kombucha straight away. The lobby is a bit strange, but the kombucha is amazing. The host asks us if we are ready for what's about to happen tonight.
It is indeed going to be slightly different tonight, and it won't be only about gastronomy.
There are 5 acts, each in a different room, and the first one is behind this curtain. As he opens it, he says that this part of the experience will introduce us to ourselves. What the hell is going on? Lots of big mirrors and deep questions. And this lady who serves our first amuse-bouche, a black seaweed wafer with raspberry and caramel. We are left chewing that and a quote by Edith Wharton, the first woman to win a Pulitzer.
There are 2 ways of spreading light. To be the candle or the mirror that reflects it.
Suddenly, we are in the lounge. This is my kind of place. Look at that wine tower. 8 meters and more than 10,000 bottles. They have pretty much any wine you can dream of. It's breathtaking. Then there is the window into a different world. It's the research and development kitchen. The wall is filled with jars of ingredients from around the world. The designers had to use 1500 lights to get this effect. It looks like something from a Wes Anderson movie. Time for a welcome shot. This is the daisy, Denmark's national flower, made into the form of a cocktail. It has a nice orange flavor with bits of frozen yuzu in it.
Erasmus, he had this strong feeling.
This is wine director and our sommelier for the evening, Nina Jensen. She's kind and cheerful and really knows her wine. I like her already. She even lets me step into her world. It's 3 stories of heaven. Alchemist is an official ambassador of Krug, which means they have enough to fill a small pool. I like the sound of that. Nina and I talk vintage Krug. We share stories about the ones we tried and the ones we haven't. We are back to the table. That's when Nina does something extraordinary. She changes my wine pairing. She takes out the Krug 2002, which I have tried before, and she puts in a special vintage, the 1998 delayed release. The final year before Krug was bought by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. This was a small thing for Nina, but it meant a lot to me. And that made it taste even better. She shows me the interactive drink menu. I feel like the captain of the USS Enterprise. For drinks, you can choose a pairing, and there are lots of options. There is a non-alcoholic pairing and a mixed pairing, each for 240 euro. The exhibitor pairing includes wine, house spirits, botanicals, and 2 tea services for 375 euro. And then wine. Alchemist has 3 levels: essential, amplified and exclusive, ranging from 240 to 1100 euro. I go for the last one and Nina tells me she will customize it for me. Our first amuse-bouche is called Smoky Ball. It's puffed gluten, filled with smoke and topped with caviar. When I bite into it, the aroma hits my nose, at the same time the flavor hits my tongue. Hard to say more, except that it was brilliant. I'm still wondering how they got the smoke into the bowl, when who sits down beside me? Chef Rasmus Munk. He is a small town boy, son of a trucker and a nurse, whose only restaurant experience growing up was McDonald's. He stumbles into cooking and after a few years finds himself in fine dining. Soon, he is head chef, and he's only 22. One Christmas, he volunteers to cook for poor families. Nothing fancy, just traditional food. He's touched when he sees how moved they are. far more than his usual customers. He is so disturbed by this, he quits fine dining. He realizes that he wants to do more than make food. He wants to make an impact. He opens a 15-cent restaurant in Oosterbro and calls it Alchemist. One of his early dishes turns many heads and a few stomachs. It's lamb's heart served with a blood bag of cherry sauce. Under the plate is a brochure that asks, "Have you signed up for organ donation?" 1,500 people sign up. It gets Chef Munk a ton of press. At this point he knows he is on to something. A few years later, Rasmus is ready to expand. He raises 20 million and opens Alchemist 2.0. It has 52 seats and a whole lot of technology. Within 7 months, he has 2 Michelin stars. I can't help but notice Rasmus has a little friend with him. It's our next amüsbusch. They raise the butterflies in-house and freeze-dry them. Under it is cheese and a candy leaf. With this dish, Rasmus brings a new source of protein, 4 to 5 times more than beef. How many butterflies equals 1 steak? I wonder. But you know what? It wasn't bad at all. Crispy, but the butterfly really didn't taste like anything. Our next impression is the omelette. After years of traveling and hundreds of bad omelets, Chef Munk set out to make the perfect one. It's cooked egg yolk, filled with more egg yolk and Comté cheese. Then it's heated to 52 degrees. We are told that's the sweet spot, but the flavor is anything but sweet. It's topped with paper-thin lardo and black truffles. It's the perfect temperature and texture with intense truffle flavor, chasing perfection. The best egg dish ever. When you think of the word alchemist, what comes to mind? The book, A Strange Old Scientist? In the Golden Age, alchemy was a mix of science and magic that aimed to purify certain materials. Here in Copenhagen, Rasmus and the Alchemist team are doing just that. Not with gold and silver, but with food and memories. When Nina feels we are ready, she leads us into the next room. This is called the dome, or as Nina puts it, the inside of Rasmus's head.
Erasmus, he had this strong feeling that gastronomy and food could be a very interesting way to communicate things and to address issues in this world, and also use food to kind of try and make the world change.
He calls it holistic cuisine. It uses the word impressions rather than courses, and there are 50 of them. The aim is to give people a dining experience outside the plate by activating all the senses. They are doing a damn good job of that so far. Rasmus says it was inspired by Copenhagen's experimentarium. So far, things have been great, but seeing all this flair makes me think twice. Is it all sizzle and no steak, or is there a real experience waiting for me? This is called
1984.
It takes inspiration from George Orwell's novel. It makes look this issue straight in the eye as Big Brother watches. At the bottom, pork, pickles, chanterelle mushrooms and lobster tartare, and on top is caviar and jelly made from the eye of the codfish. Delicious dish and an eye-popping presentation that will stick with me for years. As we soon learn, not all the impressions are food. This next one is a drink. It's called Cheers. Our server explains that in a few seconds the lights will go out, and we should all cheers together. The lights go off, but our glasses are glowing. Cheers! We are distant from each other, but still we are all sitting at the same table. All 52 of us. This wine makes me do a double take. Earlier, when we were touring the wine cellar, I noticed the 2010 Musigny Grand Cru. I pointed out to my wife that 2010 was a good year for Pinot Noir in Burgundy. And can you guess what magically showed up in the wine pairing? That's right, the 2010 Musigny. Coincidence? I don't think so. It's paired with an impression called a tongue kiss. This is made of silicone and it's a replica of the human tongue. On top is pickled vegetables, edible flowers and chilies. I am supposed to suck and lick it off. This is a little awkward. After I got in there, it was actually fun and gave us more than a few laughs. It might seem absurd, but this one really shows how important delivery is when we are talking about food. The same way a glass can change the taste of champagne. Drinking it from a professional glass is a different experience than spraying it straight into your mouth. The stuff on the tongue has bold, well-rounded flavors, and is the weirdest presentation of the evening. And maybe the year. That is exactly what Rasmus hopes his impressions will do. In interviews, he talks about the theater and how it made a huge impression on him. In fact, this building was once a workshop for the Royal Danish Theatre. Rasmus says the key to creating something new is play. Try everything and keep what sticks. This is Plastic Fantastic. Yes, it's 100% edible. It brings our awareness to the oceans, where there are plastic islands 2 kilometers wide. It may be hard to believe, but everything here is made of fish. The texture is really strange at first, but then the plastic quickly melts and leaves the creamy filling behind. The flavors and the message here are both on point. There is much more to Chef Rasmus Munk than making people think about plastic waste. During COVID, he took the lead of a project called Junk Food to help feed the homeless in Copenhagen. Working with the city council and using social media to collect donations and volunteers, he used his 4 empty kitchens to make healthy, delicious food for those living on the streets. He's not just raising awareness, he's leading by example. Our next impression is called Food for Thought. This is lamb brain. It's made into milk first and served on deep-fried brioche with cream of lamb brain inside. The idea here is to think about the parts of the animal that go to waste. In many places, people eat nothing but the choice cuts of meat. Rasmus is trying to change that. My family was not the richest in the Hungarian countryside. In fact, we were quite poor. When I was growing up, we didn't waste a thing. We ate the animal from the nose to tail. So this dish wasn't shock for me because of its message. It was shocked because this was the first time I ate a lamb brain. Although I clearly see the importance of the message. Taking this idea one step further is Rasmus's newest project called Spora. It's the new global research center focused on food sustainability. They will develop new food sources like butterflies and do something to normalize eating things that many people throw away. To build it, Rasmus raised 1.3 million euro and bought 1,000 square meter space near Alchemist. One impression draws our attention to animal welfare. It's called burned out chicken. Here we have a chicken wing, chained to a cage. The bone is removed and it's filled with meat, roasted potatoes and masala. This impression literally forces us to come face to face with the issue. We are told not to eat the chain. The presentation is absolutely unforgettable. Here, these flavors fit together perfectly. The last wine in the pairing is a really important one. A dessert wine from producer Arnaud de Villeneuve back in 1936. It's crazy to think that this was bottled 3 years before World War II. And it's still absolutely delicious. Whenever I have a wine like this, I feel really connected to history and the whole generation of people no longer with us. There is so much more I could show you, but then it would ruin the surprise. You will have to check it out for yourself. The full menu with 50 impressions is the only thing you can order. It goes for 650 euros. After finishing our impressions in the dome, Nina takes us to the next room. But first, she says, take off your shoes. This is the Freedom Room. It's like a palate cleanser for the mind. No message, no themes, just play. After the Freedom Room, we get an inside look at the kitchen's finishing area. Each column is a table, and here they put key information about which impressions have gone out, as well as any allergies. They can also track what will happen in the dome, so the service team doesn't interrupt any big moments. After 5 hours of dining and drama, we are onto the balcony for our final act. The low chairs and soft light make a great atmosphere to talk about our experience over the last few bites. Our total for today is 3,600 euro for 2 people. So, is this place a big song and dance to take people's money? If they blindfolded me on the way in, and I ate my meal in the dark, I would still say, unbelievable. Take away the theater actors. Take away the dome. Take away the fancy production. And you still have one of the best restaurants on earth. There are lots of restaurants out there where the story is better than the food. Here, both are wonderful. One more amazing thing about this place is the volume. With 50 courses and 52 people to serve, that's 2,600 impressions pumped out by the team, night after night. Average stay is around 6 hours. That is unbelievable. It's all thanks to Chef Rasmus Munk, his vision, his team, and an arsenal of cooking technology, from fire and smoke to molecules and modern chemistry. Also worth special mention is wine director Nina Jensen, who did more than just select great wines. She listened and modified the pairing to give me wines she knew I would find exciting. It was really memorable, one of the best I have ever had. But still, the Michelin Guide gives Alchemist just 2 stars. Why not 3? I don't know how the inspectors make their decisions. But I do know what 3-star means. Exceptional cuisine worth a special journey. I've been to hundreds of fine dining restaurants, and I can say that the food here is definitely exceptional. It's something I have never had before and will never get anywhere else. But is it worth a special journey? If we could ask the thousands of people on the waiting list, or those lucky enough to get a reservation when they sell out in 3 minutes, I'm quite sure the answer would be yes. And that does it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit subscribe. See you next time.